What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
They said that How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World would be the last one, but that's not true, is it? With Jeffrey saying that there should be a fourth movie in the series, we and the fans think that they're about to make a fourth movie, and here are some of the crazy theories we're about to see next. With Dragons: The Hidden World streaming on Hulu, there's a strong possibility that a fourth How to Train Your Dragon will merge with the series, completely changing the timeline. Let us explain.
Lead them to the hidden world. You'll be safe there.
From the last movie, we know that How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World saw the dragons retreating to their special world, where they would be safe humans and dangerous dragon hunters. And we're not going to say that we cried when Toothless and Hiccup separated, but we did. In the book series, it's said that the dragons will return sometime in the future when they know that the world is safe for them. Now, if you're following the movies closely, you'll know that the new series that streams on Netflix since December of 2021 takes place 1,300 years after the events in the movies. Could it be possible that Dean, the director of the show, wants to see how the audiences will react to the new characters and the new season before he greenlights the fourth installment of How to Train Your Dragon? The plotline fits perfectly with what the book said. It's the future. The world is probably a safer place than it was 1,300 years ago, and the dragons decided to come out. And yeah, that does mean we won't get Hiccup and Toothless back, but we'll get the other characters and other Night Furies back. We'll also discover new dragons. We'll see how the dragon species has changed since we first saw them on the big screen. Maybe, just maybe, the director and the screenwriters are taking this time to familiarize the audience with the new characters. Based on the feedback, they would tweak and change them, and $160 million later, we get the fourth How to Train Your Dragon movie. We can just hope that this is what they're trying to do, but there's another theory. This one is a bit different. From the ending of the third movie, as well as a short feature film titled How to Train Your Dragon: Homecoming, we know that Hiccup has 2 kids and Toothless and Night Fury have 3 baby dragons. In the short animated movie, we see how the little dragons smash that like button, just like you should do if you haven't done it already. But no, in seriousness, we get to see those little hatchlings come back to Newburgh to see what the humans were like. Even though Toothless reprimanded them for doing so, he couldn't help but visit his old buddy's home and take all the new trout he laid out for him. Before Hiccup and Astrid could catch them, Toothless and his wife and his sons flew away, which tells us they're not gone. If they wanted to suggest to us that the movie will not have the fourth installment, maybe they shouldn't have ended the third one on a cliffhanger. Sure, it wasn't the biggest cliffhanger in the world, but it was still something. For example, we know that Hiccup taught his children that dragons are one of the kindest, gentlest creatures in the world. Then, as they were sailing the seas, they saw Toothless, Night Fury, and 3 of their children. Hiccup couldn't believe his eyes at first, but it's almost been 10 years since they last saw the dragons. Even Toothless forgot about him and thought he was a dragon hunter at first. After what we could only describe as an intense stare down, Toothless and Hiccup made up. And then we got to see Hiccup riding Toothless while Astrid rode her own dragon. If they want to make this last movie in the series, they should have ended it with the scene where all the dragons leave the human and go to the hidden world. Since that didn't happen, we think they're planning to introduce the fourth movie, and we think that this one is going to be about re-establishing the lost connection between the human and the dragon world. After all, at the end of the How to Train Your Dragon: Homecoming, Astrid did suggest they visit the hidden world to return the favor. So maybe, just maybe, in this fourth movie that DreamWorks will make in the future, we will get to see Hiccup, Astrid, and their 2 children trying to find the route to the hidden world. Once there, the children will befriend the baby dragons and they will learn to ride just like Hiccup did with Toothless. If the kids are to become the main characters in the movie, then we'll probably see little of Hiccup. He would act as a guiding mentor for his children, teaching them everything he knows about the dragons. There's a possibility the new movie will introduce other characters that will become the new dragon gang. Now, we don't really know who the villain would be, but it would be interesting to see some other dragons challenge Toothless in becoming the alpha. This way, Toothless his sons, and the children of Hiccup will help them restore power in the hidden world. The most unlikely of all the scenarios would be the one where they continue the storyline exactly where they left it off. It would be a rather bland storyline if they decided to continue the storyline after the departure of the dragons. The only interesting thing we'd see in the fourth movie, then, would be Hiccup and Astrid raising their children to love dragons and the occasional visit from Toothless. However, we all know they need more than that to make an animated movie, so we think this next idea could possibly happen.
Go on. It's all right.
Come. He won't hurt you. Hold your hands out.
Because Dean said that the possibility of a spinoff is never out of the question, we think that instead of a sequel that would take place 1,300 years after the events of the current movie series, we look to the past. Of course, back then dragons and humans didn't really see eye to eye, so they would have to find a storyline that would portray the dragons in a good light.
Oh, hey, it's really nice to finally...
To do this, it'd be wise to dive deep into the storyline of Valka. We know that she was the only advocate of peace between dragons and humans at birth. We also know she was abducted by dragons right after giving birth to Hiccup. Instead of going back to Berk, where everyone hated dragons and hunted them down, she left Stoic and Hiccup and dedicated her life to the dragons.
Should I know you?
No, you were only a babe.
If you ask us, it'd be interesting to see how she and Stoic fell in love, how she got abducted, and how she spent the last 20 years of her life separated from her son and the love of her life. We would love it if the show decided to take a deep dive into the psychology and mental strain she had to go through as a mother who left her son, just so she could bring peace between the dragon and the human world.
And look! He's your age!
No wonder you get along so well.
They could also show us how Valka and Stormcutter met, how the dragon chose her when she decided to name the dragon Cloudjumper. They could show us Valka going back to Berk, riding one of her dragons just so she could watch her son grow up. To make matters interesting and to turn her character into the main heroine of the movie, we could also see her using the dragons to fight some dragon hunters around the world. The film series could benefit from a female character taking the lead role in this upcoming movie. And of course, this is just one of the options. What if the show decided to make more than just one spin-off? Maybe they'll go back in time, then jump to the future. The 12 volumes of books left more than enough room for the director and the screenwriters to explore different plot lines. Their only obstacle is their imagination. Check out these videos next.